How's Broken Bob today? You're doing better. It's doing a whole lot better. It's Sir Limps a lot. We're gonna have a guinea battle.
Probably.
The littles versus the adults. Now, Gray, we're not handing out worms right now, so there's no need to be a bully. Bob, Bob, Bob. They sure are getting big, but they don't have their white heads yet. Hey guys, welcome back to K&S Get Out. Yes, we have a broken Bob. If you guys are new here, we call them Bob because Shannon came up with Bob because he's one of the 3 males that we have of the adults. And so Bob stands for big old bully.
He's a big old bully.
So right now we can actually tell our Bobs apart because one of them is Sir Limps a lot and the other one is still in full health. We have no idea what happened to his leg. It literally, we just, what about, maybe not quite a week ago even.
We just found him this way.
He wasn't using one of his feet. And at first, he wasn't using it at all. And let me tell you, guineas do know how to hop on one leg. It's actually kind of incredible, but fortunately he's shown absolutely no sign of pain. Like, I don't know if they just have great pain tolerance.
I mean, I don't know what birds look like whenever they're in pain.
Well, he would raise a wing and let us know, and I think he would tell me.
Oh, okay. He'd be like, "Hey Dad, my leg hurts."
Yeah, he'd say, "I'm hurt, I'm hurt, I'm hurt."
Okay.
I spend too much time with these animals. We're still training, but today Shannon let 6 of them out.
Yeah, I didn't really mean to let 6 of them out, but 6 of them came out.
Yeah, sometimes they kind of do their own thing and you can't fight it.
Yeah.
All right, my comment critics, I'm getting right to it today, right to it. Go ahead and get your fingers warmed up, get your nasty comments that you like to make, be critical of me. I'm gonna tattle on myself. And you are gonna be right, but you also might get blocked from the channel, so I'm sort of kidding. You've got to show me a little bit of grace on this one. We want to share this with you, but I have to tattle on myself to tell you a story. Mr. Hercules had an injury and it was avoidable, and it was my fault. I'm going to let Shannon take some of the blame too.
I don't really think it's your fault, so I will take some of the blame.
All right, you heard it here. Now it's on record. We're sharing the blame on this one. The guineas are growing. The brooder is getting fuller and fuller because the new 9x2 that are in there are growing like guineas.
Yeah, they are.
They hit a growth spurt. I think I told you guys that about the original 9.
Okay, so I have to make a comment real quick because we said, oh, the guineas aren't that loud. We don't really mind anymore.
I lied.
But the babies, they make a lot of sounds.
Yeah. Which I told them that. I told you guys that. When they learn all the noises they can make, thank you, they like to practice them non-stop.
Yeah.
And especially as dusk is coming on, man. You think there's an animal over here. You think there's a problem. And it's like the boy who cried wolf. There was a problem one time. So if you count our new 9, it might be a new 9 minus 1. So yeah, just like I mentioned, you got to come running when you hear them screaming, but they do it every night.
Yeah.
And throughout most of the day. So now we've got 31 guineas, 3 generations, kind of.
5, 8, and 18. Is that what that adds up to? Okay.
I don't know. But they're getting a lot harder to tell from the adults, even these guys over here. But their heads will also turn white and they'll get their little red, golly, what are those things called? We had so many guineas and I forget what
They're little face things?
Yeah, they're little goblets, these things, and their hoods, I know those things. Those are gonna start coming in soon. And once that happens, I'm probably gonna start trying to get all of them out because we're really close to time to getting the new 9x2 out of the brooder.
Yes.
And that's where they need to go. So hopefully all of that timeline is gonna work out. Our other G animals, are we keeping you up, big guy? Hi, sprucers.
What's up, sprucers?
Don't talk to me, I'm napping. Are you sad facing? Are you pouting?
Hey, Herd.
Is this because you want to come out? Hey, buddy boy. I don't know if this fence, we haven't had enough sunlight, and technically my solar panel on it got a whole lot of dust on it and I wasn't coming out cleaning it enough, so No. Oh, it is. Yep. It's a little, oh, yep, it's charged.
Oh,
now.
it is hot?
Yeah.
That's why I'm glad you tested
That's
that
why
instead of
Herc
me.
just looked at me like that, like, Dad, what, don't do that. Hi, kiddos. Hi, you just, yeah, sure. Come on, get up.
Well, it was nap time, but they can't stay napping when we come down here.
Do you guys wanna come out and graze? We're trying to take full advantage of the rest of the grazing season because it is crispy out here. We have not had rain in I don't know how long, but it feels like it's been forever. Hi, buddy. See you later, man. Oh, hey, you're gonna have to run up to the shed and close those doors so they're gonna go in there and eat that bird food. A big weed, man. Hi, kiddos. Hi, Larry. Let your mohawk up a little bit. What's up, wide load? Goodness gracious. Hi, Hair Bear, coming through. My big buddy boy. I'm gonna tattle on myself, bud, but I'm also gonna tattle on you a little bit. So they have been getting a whole lot of graze time of late, because like I said, I'm just trying to squeeze in as much of the rest of the season while they can still eat stuff. And right now, a lot of the leaves are starting to fall, and they like them at a specific age of the leaf. It's kind of weird. But like once they go real brown and crispy, they don't care too much about them. But you can see how these are like, you know, pretty fall colors, yellow. And you can see Mr. Dookie's enjoying it, huh? Yep, yep, I sure am, So we kind of had to make an emergency call to the vet a couple days ago. And they were able, thankfully, to get us in yesterday, us being me and Hercules. So it is rocky out here, and Herc is all over the place. All of our animals are, and his claws get filed down naturally. All of them, except for two. He's got those big old dew claws, and I'll show you. He's making his rounds right now, but he's got those big old dangly dew claws that are common on Anatolian Shepherds and Great Pyrenees. In some cases, I think Great Pyrenees can actually have two on the same leg, and it also grows a claw. The problem is it does not get ground down, so it grows and doesn't take care of itself.
And it grows, and it grows,
and it grows, and it grows. I thought I saw cracks in both of them, like maybe they were to a certain length to where it was gonna break off or whatever. But I wasn't inspecting super closely, guys. And Shannon and I both have tried our hand at clipping his toenails, and it's a little bit of a scary incident. So we neglected it a little bit. I neglected it. And I noticed one day, one of his dew claws, the meat of it, not the claw itself, was red and swollen. And so I started paying a little closer attention and feeling down there. Well, it had curled back around to his pad and was contacting the pad. Hi, buddy boy. Was contacting the pad. Can I show him your poor little foot back here? You see his little dangly thing there? Not. That's
a little inappropriate.
We're below that dangly thing. You see those two dangly claws on the inside of his legs right there? I might be on some painkillers at the moment, everybody. So I'm like really happy, a little bit loopy and goofy. The reality of it is, I didn't know because he showed no pain. Even when I started inspecting and I could feel that the claw was in fact touching the pad, he really, it wasn't a problem for him. And the way he walked around, and I'm trying my best not to beat myself up over this. And I'm sharing it with you guys because if any of you have dogs like this or you're familiar with it, I'm now gonna be a big, is it proponent?
I don't use big words like that, sorry.
I'm now gonna be a big encourager of everyone to pay close attention to your dog's claws and keep them trimmed. Even if you don't like to do it, take them to the spa, as we called it for Nala, or our vet. We can pay our vet a small amount of money to do it. And it's very, obviously you gotta make the trip and all that, or just man up, Kyle, and do it yourself. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Actually,
I will help you.
I'm gonna have Shannon help me because when I took him to the vet, man, that's a story in and of itself. But ultimately the work that had to be done when I took him to the vet was they clipped it. And they actually clipped it a lot further up than I thought that they were going to because I was worried about his quick. Well, fortunately, he's got those kind of semi-translucent, lighter colored, clearish claws, so you can see his quick pretty easily.
Yeah.
And they were able to cut all that off, but the one that was red and swollen, his claw had penetrated that pad, and he had a sore right there. And I don't know how he wasn't feeling pain or showing me or telling me. Yeah, I know it, buddy.
Making his rounds.
I know it, big guy. So it's just a part of it, guys, you know, and I will never, ever, ever forget to do that or fall behind on that. I didn't realize how important that was. And I mean, I didn't know it was gonna curl that sharply and come straight back at his pad. I was kind of asking God, like, why did we create it like that? I don't know. It's just part of it, and it's okay. You know, it's fall time whenever every step you take sounds like that.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
We're getting there.
The leaves are changing.
They are.
That's for sure. It is turning fall.
Well, and we say this, I at least say it every year. I probably say it every other day, but it's a very short window of time. Once it starts falling out here, it's gonna go, and you need to spend all the time out in it and enjoy it, and it is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And you got to get the blower out and keep the leaves away from your camper, because they will get ahead of you, and then it rains and it gets nasty. It's all part of it. So now that I've got the tattle portion and the meat and potatoes of the story out of the way, that wasn't even at all the challenge of my day yesterday with Hercules and the vet. If you guys have been with us for a while, you know that he also lost one of his main claws. We weren't out here when it happened. Somehow it got stuck in a rock or something, and it ripped his claw out of his paw. And that, he had a lot more, there was a lot more blood, a lot more pain. And we had some of his pain medication from a previous injury, or maybe it was Nala's or somebody.
I think it was Neuterine or something like that.
Yeah, we keep it on hand. We're familiar with it. All 3 dogs have taken it. And so we had some, and we gave him that when he hurt his paw. Well, I knew that about him. So then when I took him to the vet, they think, oh, this lovey, cuddly Hercules like you guys see in the videos. He's not that guy. He is not that guy. So I have to preface by saying this. None of what I'm saying is an intentional slam at the vet. It's just the event did not go as well as it could have. There was fault on all parties' sides. That's why I tattled on myself first. I shouldn't have even had to have him there. But he's a livestock guardian dog, guys. In fact, I don't know, some of you guys don't know this, but he came from Walker Farm Fam. He was born on a farm, her uncle's farm. He was raised there with a couple of goats and his brothers and sisters.
He's seen as brother.
Yeah, or nephew, or...
No, brother.
Brother, mm-hmm. Yeah. And so he's a farm dog. I mean, he has been an LGD since he was born. And then he spent a little bit of time at Grandpa Doss Farms, my dad, being around their goats. And he's never been an inside dog. Ever. And the boy's actually never been inside anything but the shed, I suppose.
Yeah.
We're gonna take out another one of our Christmas trees.
Yeah, most likely.
I don't know how it's taken them this long to attack it, because they nailed them down in Goatville the day we released them, but I just saw them start doing this about a day ago. Look how dirty you are, man. You just rolling in the dirt out there? Yep, sure do. Come over to say hi, or were you thinking there was something up here for you to eat? Nice socks. Like your socks.
He's so social.
He is. They've all really become that way now. Oh, jealous big brother.
Speaking of social.
Get out of here, Dookie. So guys, Hercules at the vet, he's an LGD through and through. I told them that. They're out in farmland. Like they're further country than we are.
Well, they've even been here to our place, so
We've
they
had
know.
them out here, and we had to pin him up and keep him separate while we worked on Blue, I think it was at the time. And the version of Hercules that you guys see, this guy here, he is lovey. He is a buddy, but he protects me, Shannon, these animals, and does not care about anyone else in the world. And so yesterday I had asked, do you guys want me to give him one of those pain medications before we bring him? Because he doesn't like people. And they're like, no, don't do that. You know, if he needs it, we'll, give it, send you home with more or whatever. Mistake, period. It took me a while to even get the big guy in my truck. And guys, I've told you, he's not a treat-driven dog. So I had milk bones, I had chicken and waffles, I had some of little brother's chicken treats. Herc couldn't have cared less. He wouldn't take a single one. I literally had to crawl in the back of my truck with his leash in hand and wait for him to be like, okay, fine, and climb up in there. So even on his medication, guys, I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see this on camera. There you go. Those are turkey buzzards, way up in the air. And this guy alerted and kind of gave him a little growl bark. He's making sure they're not gonna come down and, you know, eat any of us, I guess. I don't know. So if you guys aren't familiar with livestock guardian dogs, they're a very special animal and they take their work very seriously. Him being the exact epitome of that. So it was a struggle to get him in the truck, and once I got him to the vet, it was a tough time getting him in the door. And just like I feared, without the medication in him, he was not nice. I mean, he was nice, he was very good, very nice to me, very clingy to me, was climbing up on me. A couple people in the lobby even, this one guy looks over and he's like, that is definitely a one-man dog, because for how big he is, he's drooly, he did weigh in at 92 pounds, and he's in my face, you know, and just panting in my ear. But anybody else that walked in, anybody that came over within proximity of him, you know, he would tense up and kind of give him a death stare. And even the vet technician tried to come over and take a look at his claw, and he told her no. And that is a very scary no when he tells you no. He doesn't tell us no very often, thankfully. But it was just, I could go into great detail. You guys know, I do that a lot. But I'm gonna save you from some of it. But it was a very stressful moment for the both of us. And fortunately, the vet saw what was going on, and so they took he and I back to our own room and said, just, you know, the vet's not ready for you yet, but I think that'll help you guys out and keep everybody safe in the lobby. So we did everything we had to do. Had to muzzle him. I had to lay on top of him. I had to use, you know, I'm over twice his weight, and I had to use every square inch of it to get him to hold still and let the vet, all of us, get down on the floor with him and get his back nails clipped. And I have to admit, this is why I feel guilty, and I told you guys, don't be the comment critics on this one. I just wanted to share this story with you. But I was apologizing to him. I apologized to the vet. I took full responsibility, because if I had kept those claws trimmed, we wouldn't have had that problem. And he forgave me. He wasn't mad at me. In fact, when he had the muzzle on, I think he was just real scared of the situation, and he was just burying his head right here in my chest. And so we were able to get done what we needed to. He's got antibiotics, he's got pain medications, and we're going to administer all of that, even though he's very like nothing ever happened. I mean, he was that way the moment she was done. And I had them go ahead and sneak out of the room. I cleaned up some of the blood because they'd gotten us quick, and he started to calm down. But now we got to get out of this place. I've been in there for probably an hour, I think, at least. And I'm only imagining, because we're getting closer to like that lunch hour, I'm only imagining now the lobby being full of people, animals, standing room only. And so I asked the vet tech that before I went out. She goes, yeah, it's pretty full. So I just gave her my card. I said, hey, why don't you just go ring it all up, get the paperwork, get the medicines and all that stuff, and let the lobby know that here I come, and keep your animals close, you know. So she said, okay, give me just a few seconds. I let her go out. Man, he was ready to leave, but there's a hallway you got to walk down. When you get to the end of the hallway, you turn that corner, there are chairs on either side, and you can't, I didn't have visibility of that. There's a gentleman sitting there, and to his left is a pit bull, an adult pit bull, a little bit bigger than Bruno. And the second Herc's nose passed that threshold, that door, that pit made some kind of little growly grunt. He was ready. And thank goodness the guy was holding on to his dog very well, and I was holding on to him very well with his short leash. And I was like, Herc, let's go. Let's just go, buddy, you know. And I kind of looked to my left and my right, but we are door bound, and the whole lobby is like, what did we just witness? Because he was in LGD mode, guys. And I know it's hard to believe, because he's just the sweetest, most lovable big guy out here, aren't you, buddy? And you are, to the people you choose to be. But you didn't want to be there, and you didn't want anybody else to be there too, huh? I know, bub. He was exhausted, came back and passed out before I even got medication in him. I had to sit down. I let him roam around out here, and he actually went and got one of his toys and walked straight down to the pen gate and said, I need to be back in my pen with my goats. And that's exactly what I did. And I'm gonna be honest, guys, this is where, you know, I trust the professionals, I do. and I want to honor anything the vet asks or tells me to do. I do it, except this one thing. Before I left, the vet tech came back in, the vet did not. And she goes, here's what you're gonna do, give him this twice a day, that, da-da-da. We just wanna make sure, you know, we don't have an infection. And I was like, cool, that's what antibiotics are for. She said, but the vet does want you to keep him indoors for 10 days.
When Kyle told me that, I was like, there's no way. It's not possible. He's an LGD. He can't be indoors. He can't leave his goats.
No, he can't. And I was rendered speechless at first. And I'm familiar with her. She's great. We've dealt with her with our other dogs. She's helped with some of our goats. And I just looked at her and I couldn't get words to come out. And I said, like, that's not, like, what's the other, let's wrap it. She goes, well, if it's got discharge, she wants it to discharge. I was like, cool, let's put a cast on it. What? I said, I need any other option besides him be indoors. And she's like,
any of you that know LGDs know LGDs do not belong indoors. You
no,
just can't do that to them.
It actually will break some LGDs. I know a girl up at the feed store that told me about that when I was talking to her, because we talk about her dogs, you know. And she said hers was broken because they let her in too much. And now she's like, nah, I love air conditioning and heat, go take naps. Well, we need him. We need him out here. And quite honestly, even this time of year, it would make me nervous to not have him in that pen with those goats at night. Predators are very smart. They know quickly, how quickly, you know, the smell of a dog starts to go away and they'll realize he's not in there. And we can't have that.
And we've heard lots of packs of coyotes recently at nighttime.
Last night, me and Bruno,
and
there was a whole pack over here, and that was Bruno's first experience that loud. And I kind of egged him on, like, you know, hey, get ready. He ran out about 10, 15 feet, chest puffed up, and just listened. I love that boy.
He's so good.
So, guys, I have to be honest, this is probably the first and only time I have ever defied a vet. And Shannon and I communicated about it, and we kind of we had to weigh the options. You know, I, of course, have been studying that pad since we got home, nonstop, and I let him, when he was wandering around, when we first got back, and I had to sit down and just kind of catch my breath from the whole situation, I let him show me what kind of discomfort he was in. He didn't have any pain medication in him yet, still showed absolutely no sign of pain or even concern. He wasn't licking at it, nothing. So back in the pen he went. He's tough, and even today's one day later, the swelling is down drastically. The redness, it's way less red than it was, and I can actually look at the hole where his claw was, and it's scabbed over, it looks good. I know some of them there we've communicated with, they know what we're doing, they know we're in a camper. She's like, well, could you put him in a shop? And I was like, I have a camper, and I have a Bruno house, or an office, or a she shed, whatever Shannon wants me to call it that day. And no, the way that Bruno's been trained, as you guys know, and a lot of you commented, my critics out there, he is crate trained.
By the way, I want to say he is crate trained, not cage trained.
Yes.
Big difference there.
Very big difference. And he has a very big crate where he can sprawl out and not even reach both ends of it, guys. It's a very real thing. And for the kind of training we're doing with him and the amount of time, don't worry, guys. It's not like the only time he gets out is when I put him in a video, okay? In fact, we have to put him up typically 4 videos so that we can focus, unless we want to see his cuteness. So he is crate trained, and we are not about to break his crate training and try to bring him out. Besides that, I would have to put, wherever Hercules would be indoors, I would have to be with him 100% of the time. He's not trained for that. He would eat everything we have in there eventually, I think, or drool on it, or mark every bit of it, and it would stress him out. And 10 days, I'm sorry, guys, I understand the concern, but if we think about the percentage of possibility, knowing that he's on a very high dose of antibiotics for 10 days, I've got enough pain medication to run for 10 days if he needs it. You guys like tap dancing on this trailer, don't you? Push him, Dookie. Show him who's boss. Push him. Oh, Hair Bear getting in on the action. Maybe uh-oh. Yeah, that's what I thought.
This is your trailer, Spruce.
Oh, Spruce a loose. Okay, I'm getting off the soapbox. I just wanted to tattle on myself. I wanted to teach you guys how important it is to pay attention to their claws, especially if they have dew claws like that. Not a lot of dog breeds do. I think it's pretty specific to much larger dogs and Anatolian Shepherd, Great Pyrenees. But yeah,
we learned from this situation.
We learned. I felt bad. I can say that the method that we used at the vet, where I was controlling his head and his upper half of his body, that's what Shannon and I are going to do together next time. So I will, I don't think he would do anything at Shannon or I, but you got to be prepared for that. You got to think that it could happen. Therefore, be safe. So I will do that. And honestly, I may cut him up a half of a pain pill and give him that for the first, few times that we do it until I see that he gets a little more used to it. And I may give you one because you're a pain. Dad, here, this is what I think of that. He is a pain, but we love him. So I'm very sorry, buddy. I love you. I appreciate your attitude, and I have the utmost respect for you. Yep. Good old sheriff.
I still don't think it's completely your fault. I know you've tried to cut him a few times and he did not want anything to do with it.
Yeah,
so
it was.
I'm not putting all that blame on you at all.
I appreciate that. It's not always easy to do, and I definitely just need to keep doing it and learning, and it'll happen. I'll never let that happen again.
Man, that waddle he has back and forth.
It's his attitude. I mean, he is just, he's even walking away from me. Yeah.
It's fine.
Actually very thankful for his personality towards us, because he was never upset with me. I was his calming person as best I could be. He just feels safe with me, and he feels like it's his job to keep me safe. So,
okay. Thank you for your drool.
Excuse us.
Thank you. Yeah, my leg was getting a little warm. I'm glad you're cooling it off with your drool. Goodness, I love this guy.
I do too.
Talk about a gorgeous day.
It is. There's a nice little breeze coming through.
So our Saturday is going to consist of a nice peaceful grazing with our goats, hanging out, enjoying this beautiful weather.
Herc wants to help you.
Hi, buddy. Hi. Well, guys, we are going to enjoy this beautiful sunny day. It's probably one of the last nice days that we're going to have as far as Saturdays go.
This is our last nice day we're ever going to have?
Seriously.
That's what you said.
Not forever, I just mean this season. But the leaves are changing and it is just, it's gorgeous. I need to walk around and get some pictures of the leaves changing, but
Herc's on the mend. I feel so much better that his claws have been trimmed. I will continue to maintain that, but I really think he's on the right track, and he's happy in his pen outside with his goats. He's standing here right now telling us, hey, let's take him down to the pen.
yeah.
That's my boy. We love and appreciate each and every one of you. We thank you so much for coming on this journey with us. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye, bye, Miss Me. I got painkillers.